broadcast is an alternative video game programme. Viewers should prepare themselves for games-related jokes, nonsense and general hijinks.
From the alternative world of video games today, a journey into the fourth dimension gets all weird. FPS heavyweights slug it out as Halo takes on Metroid Prime. A look at old school classic Dizzy, and it's showdown time in Group A of our football championship.
Welcome to the corridor of vagueness. This means something's gone wrong. A link that we've had to record has been kicked out because it's been too controversial. I don't even know what I'm linking to, but I'm sure it will be very pleasant to watch. Thank you.
Here's our top 5 worst ever bits of video game acting. At number 5, the late night survival horror of Resident Evil. And that's just these guys acting. It's the versatility that I admire. They can do comedy,
that door. Close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
quiz questions,
What is it?
Blood.
pornography,
Hey, let me handle this.
and D, none of the above.
Hope this is not Chris's blood.
That Resident Evil still managed to be scary despite the laughable talents of this lot is quite a feat. At number 4, it's Ghost Hunter. This gripe is more to do with the terrible dialogue than bad voice acting. Lazarus Jones and Anna Steele are cliched cop partners from a cliched cop show with a cliched love-hate relationship.
There's nobody to shoot.
There's you.
Keep the gun away.
Oh, stop before you make me puke.
I look like a prankster? Go to work. 30.
Okay, 30 it is, partner.
Why don't they just do it?
What I meant was, what are we...
I know what you meant.
She likes me. No doubt about it, she likes me.
Oh, sweet lord. We'll be gritting our teeth for the third and second worst vocal performances ever later in the show.
I'm depressed, viewers, because we had filmed a really funny thing for this bit, but they've said it's too dodgy to put out, and they've made me sit in the bad boys corridor. Here's today's Behind the Game.
In 1986, the world's tabloids were driven to a frenzy by programming twins Andrew and Philip Oliver, for they had unleashed a new breed of hero, and this hero went by the name of Dizzy, and he was an egg.
Hi, I'm Philip Oliver, one half of the Oliver twins. I'm the other half, Andrew Oliver. And together, we created Dizzy. The original idea with Dizzy was to create a character in a fantasy world, lots of interesting made-up characters. The actual character design itself was actually just a big face.
We drew this character and we could sort of rotate it around and spin it, and then we just came up with the idea that if you did that all the time, you'd be dizzy.
When we actually wanted to create sort of a new Dizzy adventure, we would work out roughly how many screens we could do and then draw a little picture of every screen, quite a small thumbnail of what we wanted.
It did actually take hours and hours to play those games, but sort of with our map that we'd laid out, you put little post-its on, of sort of saying, right, you'd go there, 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 and you could sort of play it through within a couple of minutes, when actually in reality the walking backwards and forwards was probably a bit excessive in those days.
But what I want to know is, like the relationship between myself and the missus, is there anything you wanted to put in but didn't?
Even to this day, you think of ideas and think, oh, that was so cool for a Dizzy game. I mean, and certainly you just saw the film Shrek and you're just thinking, oh, so many ideas we just missed.
Even though they were never satisfied, the game sold an amount gargantuan.
We got a few thousand and we were able to buy a car, and it's like, how cool is that? We're still at school and we managed to buy a car, and we were sort of, everyone was jealous of us.
Looking back on sort of the fact that years ago we actually created this game character Dizzy in those successful games, and the fact that people remember them so fondly, yeah, we're immensely proud. And also we can sort of kind of take full credit for it, because it was just me and Andrew in a back bedroom, whereas these days games are like huge teams of people.
We scoured
of the Premiership and the Championship in search of the best Pro Evolution players to stage the world's first virtual football competition. 8 pros have to compete through group rounds and knockout stages until one of them has earned the right to be crowned the When Games Attack Football Champion.
In Group A, Alexis Nicolas is the daddy. He's through with 6 points. Scott Fitzgerald is second on 4. Lee Sharp's effectively out with 2, while the Tangerine Sheen Darren Curry has just 1 point. He needs a miracle. It's the final game in Group A. We've got Brighton's Darren Curry against Watford's Scott Fitzgerald. Now, interestingly, Darren, looking at the table, you've only got 1 point. You've definitely played within yourself, but you can still go through with a win today.
It's a must-win game, and I will be going all-out attack.
Yeah, now, I mean, have you been slack the first couple of games? Have you been pacing yourself? Is there a big dollop more of Darren Curry we've yet to see?
I think what I'm trying to get over to the players isn't getting through to them at the minute.
See, you're just like Lee Sharp was. I like the way that you're blaming the players.
Well, you know, hopefully not. I say, Raul, do the business and we get the goal.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to seeing Raul going to top gear. I haven't quite seen it yet. Now, Scott Fitzgerald, you're probably the favourite in this game, coming off the back of a great victory over current top of the table Alexis Nicolas in your last game. How confident do you feel?
Yeah, fairly confident, you know, but football's full of underdogs, so you never know.
So, tactically, I mean, are you going to stick 11 men behind the ball?
No, I think that'd be the wrong kind of tactics to go for, really. You know, it could be costly.
I don't think actually the programming team at Konami have allowed for that tactic either, that 11-0-0 tactic.
Yeah.
OK, well, Scott says we're going to see an open game today. Darren has definitely got a score. It's all building up for a cracker. Join us after the break.
But before that break, there's just time to clench our butt cheeks for numbers 3 and 2 in our top 5 worst vocal performances ever. At number 3 is a certain character from Metal Gear Solid, Twin Snakes. Let's just have a listen.
Die. Nature tends to favour asymmetry. Snake, did you like my sunglasses?
Yes, it's the camp-jeering public school tones of ultra-lovey Liquid Snake. If the desire in casting this actor was to produce feelings of uncontrollable rage and vengeance in the player, they did a good job. One can only hope he'll be punished in the afterlife. Snake! At number 2, Forbidden Siren.
She's coming!
What is it about survival horror that seems to encourage game producers to strive for some of the worst performances outside of a Bertie Vogt Scotland team?
What do I do? Call an ambulance?
Take Forbidden Siren. It is a pretty scary game, but much unintentional light relief is provided by a girl with a Cockney accent only slightly more convincing than Jamie Oliver's.
What is this place? Where are we?
Acting this bad damages the pancreas.
I just got shot.
We'll be bringing you our number 1 culprit for worst voice acting ever in Part the 2. Next on the alternative video game show, scenes some viewers may find disturbing. Halo goes head-to-head against Metroid Prime. And the worst voice acting in a game ever. But first, time to join Stevie Morgan in the commentary box for our football challenge. Darren Curry Spain versus Scott Fitzgerald's Italy.
Thanks, Dominic, and yes, it is the When Games Attack Football Challenge, where the pros go back to basics. And it's Italy on the attack, out wide, out very wide.
Dodgy lines.
Did that go off? Let's have a look. Well, I wonder if Scott Fitzgerald did slip the linesman a few quid before the game, but it's Italy once again on the attack. The cross comes in, the header, and it's off. And Darren Curry knows that Spain are under a great amount of pressure here from Italy, and that's just wide. And Scott Fitzgerald can sense a goal could be imminent, but the first half is coming to a close. It ends 0-0. And the second half will get underway with Spain kicking away to our left here. And the Satsuma-skinned Darren Curry knows he's got to get something out of this game. But he was very close there with Italy goal hungry. But can they put an end to their famine? Not just yet, but now it's Spain once again on the attack. And I know I'm meant to be completely impartial here, but I do have a great love of the Spanish and Spanish football. A few years ago when the police were after me, I had to hide out on the Costa. So forgive me if I'm not as objective as I should be. But now it is Italy on the attack. It's Vieri, surely. Straight at the keeper. Well, that is no good to anyone, and it ends 0-0. They can't separate them, but it was an all-out thriller. 0-0.
Scott Fitzgerald, not a game that will linger long in the memory.
No, definitely not. You know, it was good to get out of the way, that one. It wasn't too demanded by us.
Yeah, well, I think it just seemed to be quite a narrow game. All of it was going down the centre, there wasn't a lot of room in midfield.
Yeah, you know, there wasn't a lot of ball played, a lot of players trying to take it on themselves, going for glory, and yeah, it didn't really happen for them.
Yeah, one of the few times I've watched the game and I've hoped one of the players might start juggling, just as a little bit of entertainment, or even origami, maybe, something, because there wasn't a lot. You're going to have to up your game when you get to the semis.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's not good enough to take me through. So we have to improve on that and take to the training ground.
Yeah, but a draw was all you needed, and you got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, I got it, but I was very lucky on a couple of occasions there. But yeah, managed to sneak a draw and go through.
Yeah, you were a bit lucky on one occasion in particular. If I could turn to you, Darren Curry, the shot from Raul there that just cleared the bar. In fact, I think it was almost technically hitting the stanchion.
Yeah, it was unlucky. Not really many other chances other than that, unfortunately. We tried to go a bit direct today. Not good enough to go through.
But of course, I'm sure you'll wish your teammate Alexis Nicholas all the best in the semi-final. He can play, the little fella, can't he?
I believe he'll go on and win the tournament.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, I was running a book on that just now. I'll just take 20 off you. I'll put it in some bookmaker. Well, thanks so much for joining us over the course of the tournament, Darren. Pleasure to have you, mate. Excellent. Always good to have someone who's got good hair. Not a lot of footballers you can say that about these days. So looking at the final table of Group A, Alexis Nicholas on 6 points, then Scott Fitzgerald filling that second semi-final berth on 5 points. That draw means that Darren Curry gets second last, the wooden spoon going to Lee Sharp. Next time around, the final game in Group B. Let's hope it's not quite as turgid as this one. Welcome viewers to another head-to-head where we take two classic games and find out which one really is the... I'm sorry. Ladies, what are you up to today? You're trying to snip off Cuddly's electronic criminal tag? You know, if they catch you doing that, you'll have to wear one too. Yes, don't give me that. You've got to pay your debt to society. That woman in the sub-post office has done nothing to you. Now, go and grab your boxes. Today, for your viewing pleasure, the ladies are going all first person. Cuddly is opting for Halo, very overrated in my opinion, and Queenie is opting for Metroid Prime. Round 1, gameplay.
Fans know there's more to Metroid Prime than blasting, because you have to solve puzzles as well as scan objects for information and story points. Metroid Prime brings together elements of the FPS and RPG into one unique combination. Halo may be more action-orientated, but it's not without its original touches. Since you're only allowed to hold a single gun, choosing when to drop one weapon and pick up another adds a tactical side to the play. But which title plays better? .64% of the 100 gamers we asked thought Halo had the better gameplay. Round 1 to Halo. 2 rounds to go.
So, Cuddly takes the first round thanks to Halo's apparent great variety in all the different vehicles and all the different corridors that look exactly the same when you go to them on every single level. Anyway, on a brighter note, round 2. Graphics.
Metroid Prime is one of the most visually stunning GameCube titles. The weapons look great and each world oozes with atmosphere. When launched, Halo proved the graphics power of the Xbox. The Covenant are the most originally designed villains seen in a long time. and the huge vistas and multiple worlds give a real sense of space opera to the proceedings. But which do you think is the best looker? 54% of those in our survey said Metroid Prime had the better graphics. Metroid Prime draws even with round 2. One more to go.
Yes, Queenie pulls one back for graphics thanks to Metroid Prime. I thought I wouldn't get too carried away. I've seen the forums. I know there's people out there who would and have sold their children for a Halo. Round 3. Lifespan.
Metroid Prime won't be completed overnight. Each area gets significantly larger and harder as you progress. By the time you've reached the final boss, you could have racked up 40 hours of playtime. Apart from Halo's substantial one-player game, the multiplayer option lets you and a friend experience the game in a totally different way. But which game is better at keeping you coming back for more? 56% of those surveyed said Halo had the longer lifespan. Halo takes round 3. So Halo becomes our overall winner at 2 rounds to 1.
I know, Queenie, I think Halo's overrated too, but you cannot mess with the great British public. Now, you've got to get your forfeit, and you know what? How sore it is when you accidentally squirt lemon juice in your eyes? Well, today, we're going to remove the accident part of it. Cuddly, it's all yours. Ouch! Just be grateful you don't have any paper cuts. Join us next time for another head-to-head.
The time is nigh to reveal the worst voice acting in a video game. Before we do, let's recap numbers 2 to 5. At 5, Barry, Jill, Wesker, they're all pish in Resident Evil. At 4, Ghost Hunter's also snappy dialogue. At number 3, unbearable mincing tough Liquid Snake in Metal Gear Solid.
I will destroy him!
And at 2, school play acting standards in Forbidden Siren. But for sheer brain-numbing vocal awfulness, the number 1 spot goes to Sonic Adventure? Well, yes, because you'd think that given the responsibility of finding actors to voice the most iconic characters in games, that developers would choose ones that players would warm to. Instead, Sonic and his chums sound like brain-dead American brats.
Step aside, Amy! Out of my way!
That's right, Sonic's got a vocabulary of about 5 words.
What's up, Knuckles?
It's all sickeningly Californian. Get me my gun.
You must be kidding!
No, I'm not.
If you don't, we're just gonna attack.
If you're watching this link, it means that we have filmed something to go here, but the powers that be have said, there's no way you're showing that! So we're in a normal corridor saying, here's a feature.
Ten years ago, movies like The Lawnmower Man and Johnny Mnemonic foretold an imminent future of completely immersive gaming controlled by total bodysuits. Hasn't quite worked out like that, has it? Although here at iWorks in Burbank, California, they do a cracking line of chairs.
iWorks are one of the pioneers of motion theatre. Starting with simple hydraulic chairs, they've progressed through CGI and 3D to the latest innovation, 4D, which offers some refreshingly low-tech thrills.
So what exactly is 4D then?
Well, 4D is actually bringing the effects, the water, the air, the vibration, different lighting effects into the theatre and synchronizing them with the events on the film to make a more enveloping experience.
Case in point, Pirates, a 3D live-action film that spends a fair amount of time slapping, jolting and spraying in its audience's faces.
Catch me, you scoundrels! Catch me, you scallywags!
So you would be watching a bit, you know, in the film with water, and then it would just kind of, you know, start coming out of your the air.
It would, be something like that.
Yeah, you could move the seats or something if you wanted to, for example. Yeah, and tickle the legs. Yeah. See, never give a control box like this to me. I must.
And we won't.
Where be my sword?
Here, mon capitaine.
Hurry, hurry!
So I come to you and I say, okay, I've got this ride. It's called, I don't know, Dominic Goes Shopping for Pants, right?
Yes.
And I'd like to incorporate some 4D elements into it. How do you go from there?
I would incorporate a lot of things in because it sounds like a pretty boring ride to me.
You haven't gone pants shopping with me.
I haven't. I don't intend to.
It's an adventure.
Yeah. I would say what we would do, we would watch a video of the thing.
Of me buying the pants.
Of you buying the pants, and would say, you know, what is the kind of things we can do here to bring you more into the pant buying experience.
I'm loving this ride already. This is excellent. Let's just do some of that. There you go there, Les. That's all stuff.
Thank you.
And presumably, so is that all, that's all just done, you know, someone will just program lines of code then?
Right. Someone will program lines of code. Once it's installed in the theatre, then they would have to be triggered at an appropriate time to be synchronized with the action on the film. It's basically just computer control.
Like any motion theatre ride, the success of 4D will depend on the quality of the film, but it certainly does add something to the experience. And there's something charming about being entertained by the age-old trick of water in the face.
Dominic, you had your fun, and now it's my turn. Dominic, what's the capital of Bosnia?
Montrose.
No, wrong.
Yes.
What's the Queen's third cousin called?
Jemima.
Too long. Dominic.
Yes.
How far is it to France? From here.
Not far enough. Gonna kill me, Mom! Mom, get me out of here! Get me out! I'm really angry. We had a brilliant closing link for the show, but the powers that be have decided it was too dodgy, and they're making me sit in this corridor until I go mad. See you next time.